Hello friends, this is Yogesh Popat and today again we are here with a very interesting topic which you feel in your day-to-day life, which is very much related to your day-to-day life, but you don't know you are studying, you are feeling the law of conservation of momentum. First of all, I would like to state the law of conservation of momentum. The law of conservation of momentum states that if there is no unbalanced force is acting on a body, then the conservation of momentum will take place. That means the momentum of the body will not change. If we talk about, there's one simple example I'd like to explain. Suppose this is the firing from a gun. So as soon as the bullet is fired from a gun, the momentum of the bullet will be same as the momentum of the gun. Now you are thinking that how is it possible? Mass of the bullet is very much small, but when the bullet is fired from the gun, the velocity of the bullet is very much high as compared to the velocity of the gun, which is moving backward. But if you take the mass of the bullet is very much less as compared to the mass of the gun. So if you take the product of the mass and velocity, which is termed as momentum, so the momentum of the gun will be exactly same as the momentum of the bullet. The only thing is here I have written the negative sign. The negative sign indicates that the direction of velocity, that means the bullet will move forward and the gun will move backward, and this phenomena is called recoiling of a gun. Suppose if I am standing here and if I am jumping on the earth, so I am applying a force on the earth due to which the momentum of the earth will also to be changed. But the mass of the earth is so huge, the earth is a very heavy object that you won't be able to recognize the change in momentum of the earth, but definitely it will change. Okay, and the change in momentum or the momentum of my body will be same as the momentum of the earth. I have taken the example of collision to prove the conservation of momentum. In case of collision, if I state the conservation of momentum, after the collision and before the collision, the momentum of the complete system will remain same. When I say system means if you are taking two objects, A and B. So this A and B combinedly forms our system. Here, if you see the different cases I have drawn here, the first case is the case of before collision. Suppose this body of mass m1, which I have termed as body A, is moving with initial velocity u1, and body B is moving in front of body A with velocity u2. If I take here is u1 is greater than u2, then only the collision will take place. The velocity of the body A is more than the velocity of body B. So after some time, let us time take del t. After time del t, the collision will take place. During the collision, what will happen? Whenever two body collides, as per Newton's third law, they apply equal and opposite force on each other. So this is the case of during collision. When I say during collision, F21 is the force acting on the second body due to first body, and F12 is the force acting on first body due to second body. So these are the two forces which are acting on each other as per Newton's third law. So this is the case of during collision. Now after collision, it depends on the mass of the object, what kind of situation is going to happen, whether they will stick together or they will move apart in the opposite direction, or they will move in the same direction. Like, there are different cases out there. So in this diagram I have taken the velocity of the body which is moving backward strikes body B. During collision, equal and opposite forces will act on each other, and after collision, both of the bodies separates out, moves in the same direction but with changed velocity. The velocity of body A before collision is u1, velocity of body A after collision is v1, velocity of body B after collision is v2, earlier it was u2. So before collision, during collision, after collision. Now if we talk about the momentum of the system, the initial momentum if I talk about before collision, initial momentum, that means before collision what will be the momentum of the entire system. So before collision, if you see, the momentum is the product of mass and velocity, you know it very well. So m1 u1 is the momentum of body A and m2 u2 is the momentum of body B. So together if we say the system, the initial momentum of the body or the system will be m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Finally, after collision, if we see, m1 v1 is the momentum of body A and m2 v2 will be the momentum of body B. Again, if we take the entire system, the final momentum will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2. My purpose of today's class is to prove that these momentums must be same. If I am able to prove that before collision and after collision the momentum of the entire system is same, that means we have proved the law of conservation of momentum, which says that, again I am recalling, the law of conservation of momentum says if there is no net force acting on a body, the momentum of the system will not change before the event or after the event, or you may say that the momentum of the system remains conserved. In book, if you go through this derivation, this is a very tedious derivation, a very lengthy derivation it is. So I suggest you to go through my video for this particular derivation. This is just a 4-step derivation. Straight away come to the second diagram and see here the Newton's third law. According to Newton's third law, two equal and opposite forces are acting on the bodies, both the bodies. So I have written here F21 is equals to minus F12. This is in accordance with Newton's third law. After that, you have to go to Newton's second law. Newton's second law says force will be equals to the change in momentum, rate of change of momentum. So F can be written as del P upon del T. This we have studied earlier. So F21 is the force acting on the second body and F12 is the force acting on the first body. So when I am saying second body, so I have to write change in momentum, rate of change of momentum of the second body, that is body B. So F21 can be written as del PV upon del T. Whereas it is the force acting on the first body, so I will write del PA upon del T, the rate of change of momentum of body A, with negative sign here already. It is in accordance with Newton's third law, the negative sign is. So del PB upon del T is equals to minus del P upon del T. Del T is the time taken to collide the body. So del T will cancel out. So I am just eliminating this del T from here. This will cancel out. So ultimately it is coming del PB is equals to minus del PA. Now what is del PB? Del PB is the change in momentum on body B. When I have written del PB, you only have to focus on body B. So if you see here, change in momentum, final minus initial momentum. For body B, M2V2 is the final momentum of only body B I am talking about. This PI and PF I have written for the complete system, so don't get confused. M2V2 minus M2U2 will be the change in momentum of body B. So I have written M2V2 minus M2U2 with the negative sign. Del PA is the change in momentum of body A. So this will be M1V1 minus M1U1. So I have written M1V1 minus M1U1. Transfer, multiply this negative sign inside the bracket, so you will get minus M1V1 plus M1U1. Shift the component, the term M1V1 this side, so this becomes positive, and this M2U2 this side, so this becomes positive. So finally you are getting the formula M2V2 plus M1V1 is equals to M1U1 plus M2U2. If you see it carefully, M1V1 plus M2V2 is the final momentum of the system, whereas M1U1 plus M2U2 is the initial momentum of the system. That means we have proved that the law of conservation of momentum is valid for any of the case, provided no net force must act on the system. Different examples are there. We will have a discussion on the recoiling of a gun in the next lecture. The bomb explosion is an example of law of conservation of momentum. Rocket launching is an example of law of conservation of momentum. Wherever there is no acting of net force on a particular system, the momentum will remain conserved. One more thing I would like to explain here. If the center of body A is colliding with B and if the center of the body coincides, this is called head-on collision, and this is a one-dimensional collision. The two-dimensional collision is also possible, that we'll discuss in the due course of time. But till date, we have this one-dimensional collision, and I have proved the law of conservation of momentum by taking an example of head-on collision. Okay, thank you so much. See you in the next class.